soft winds whisper across forgotten lands, carrying the faint shimmer of prayers long lost to time. In the quiet corners of history, women were revered as divine conduits, mothers of gods, keepers of sacred mysteries, and gentle guides to the soul. Tonight, we drift into their world, letting the hush of ancient devotion calm our minds and ease our hearts. Across deserts, rivers, and temples, their presence lingers like a soft light, weaving stories of compassion, courage, and celestial beauty. Let us float through these sacred memories where every story is a lullaby, every echo a soothing touch upon the spirit. As your eyes grow heavy, imagine the tender strength of these divine women guiding you into peaceful dreams, and allow their timeless grace to carry you beyond the noise of the day, into a realm of quiet wonder. If your heart feels lighter as you listen, softly whisper in the comments where you are listening from, or let your soul rest while you subscribe to join these nightly journeys of peace and calm. Soft silver light draped over ancient stones, and the wind whispered through hollowed arches of a forgotten temple. Shadows stretched across the ground like quiet memories, curling beneath the roots of olive trees that had grown tall over centuries. The air smelled faintly of night jasmine, delicate and soothing, carrying a sweetness that seemed to float on the gentle evening breeze. Somewhere in the distance, water trickled over moss-covered rocks, and the soft echo mingled with the slow rhythm of nocturnal life. You drift here quietly, where the world has folded into stillness. The temple, though abandoned by wandering feet, held a lingering presence. Once it had been home to a priestess who walked softly among its stones, her sandals whispering against smooth marble. She called to the moon, not with force, but with a tenderness that filled the night with quiet light. Her voice was like water flowing over smooth pebbles, and even now, it seems to hover between the cracks of broken pillars. The moon, high and luminous, reflected in the temple's worn basins, casting ripples of silver across the floor. You float along the path of her memory, sensing the serenity that her presence left behind. Farmers once came from nearby villages to ask for the blessing of her chants. Travelers paused beneath her silver gaze to find guidance, and dreamers knelt quietly, listening to the soft cadence of her prayers. She moved with gentle purpose, her hands tracing symbols in the air as though painting them for the stars themselves. Every gesture was deliberate yet unhurried, like the turning of the moon across the night sky. As you walk through the temple in your mind, the air is cool against your skin, carrying the faint scent of incense that has lingered for generations. The incense swirls slowly in spirals, and you feel a rhythm in its rise and fall, like a quiet heartbeat. The priestess had once stood in this very place, hands lifted toward the moon, lips moving in chants that had a softness only the night could hold. These chants were not words of command, but of invitation. They invited calm into the hearts of those who listened, inviting the body to relax, the mind to slow, the spirit to drift lightly. The silver light seemed to respond to her presence. As she moved, shadows bent gently around her, curling like protective arms. She guided her people not with urgency but with patience. She showed them that even in darkness there is a light that can be followed, a quiet luminescence that does not demand, but simply shines. You feel this light now, soft and steady, as if it has settled around you like a blanket. She was a keeper of cycles, of rhythms that moved through the earth as surely as the moon moved across the sky. Farmers listened to her soft guidance, knowing when to sow, when to rest, when to watch their fields with tender care. Travelers felt the pull of her calm as they passed through the hills, sensing a gentle alignment with the road, a sense that they were always moving under protection. Dreamers found in her presence a safe harbor, a quiet space to imagine, to breathe, to let the mind drift into peaceful shapes and colors. In her hands, rituals were soft, almost imperceptible, yet powerful in their subtlety. A bowl of water, a sprig of lavender, a circle of stones, each held meaning that did not shout but whispered. Her offerings were not loud. They were like a sigh that carries away tension. You can feel the same sigh now, as if it moves through your chest and settles softly in your lungs, releasing a slow wave of relaxation. The moon itself seemed to bend closer to listen. Its silver light poured across the temple's courtyard, illuminating the delicate carvings on the pillars. Each carving told a story of gentle deeds, of compassion, of reverence for life. Animals once sacred to the temple moved quietly through the night, their breath soft, their steps measured. Owls perched in the shadows, their eyes reflecting the silver sky, and foxes padded along the edges of the ruins, silent companions in the priestess's watch. You sense her presence more clearly now. She does not speak directly to you, but her energy surrounds you. It is a soft circular rhythm, like the slow tide or the turning of a wheel. Every time you inhale, it flows in. Every time you exhale, it releases tension. Her energy is like a gentle guide through the darkness, reminding you that you are safe, that you are held, that you are moving in harmony with the world around you. The night unfolds like a soft tapestry, each thread a shimmer of silver light or a whisper of wind. Lanterns that no longer burn seem to glow faintly in memory, carrying echoes of her soft chant. You float past them, each memory a gentle pulse, a soft nod from the past. The priestess's influence is subtle, like the brush of feathers, like the slow ripple across still water. It does not demand attention. It simply rests beside you, a quiet companion for the night. Through the temple gates, you see gardens where moonlight touched every petal. Lilies and jasmine bend under the weight of dew, glistening in the gentle glow. She once walked among them, hands lightly tracing paths over the leaves, whispering to each flower. Her care was meticulous but tender, and the plants responded in kind, opening softly under her touch. You can feel that same soft energy now, letting your thoughts drift as lightly as petals on water. The priestess had a sacred drum, though it was small and simple. When she touched it, the sound was low and steady, like a heartbeat in the dark. She used it to mark the passing of time, to honor the rhythm of the earth, the pull of the moon, and the gentle journey of life itself. Each beat was a soft guide, reminding all who listened that they were part of a larger harmony, a slow and careful dance with the unseen. You hear that drum now, faintly, as if in the far distance, and it syncs with the pulse of your own breath, encouraging calm and ease. The stories of her kindness are carried in the night air. Travelers would recall her helping hands, guiding them safely along steep paths or through dense woods. Farmers remembered her smile, a soft encouragement to trust in the land and in themselves. Children who slept near the temple would dream of moonlit gardens and gentle hands brushing the stars. You are now part of these quiet stories, drifting in their gentle embrace, a soft observer of the sacred peace she left behind. Time seems to bend here. The present mingles with memory, the temple ruins with their past life. Every step is cushioned with silence. Every breath carries the scent of jasmine and soft stone. The moon above moves slowly, and its reflection glimmers in the shallow pools that once held her offerings. You feel the patience of the ages, the slow unfolding of night, and the steady, unwavering presence of the priestess guiding the flow of energy around you. You pause by a fountain, where water trickles over smooth stones. The sound is quiet but persistent, a reminder that life moves gently, without hurry. In her time, she had often stood here, letting her hands hover above the surface, tracing gentle patterns, offering blessings to those who came. The water reflects the moonlight, and for a moment, it seems almost alive, shimmering softly as if it remembers her touch. You float beside this memory, letting it soothe your mind, letting it slow the rhythm of your thoughts. Finally, the temple begins to sink into a deeper quiet. The priestess retreats into shadow, but her energy lingers like a warm, invisible blanket. The wind carries a faint echo of her voice, soft and rhythmic. Stars glimmer faintly above, each one a tiny blessing, each one a lullaby. You feel yourself relaxing further, the weight of the day slipping away like water over stone. Let the silver light surround you. Let the soft chants fill the spaces between your thoughts. Let your breath match the rhythm of the priestess's drum, slow, steady, comforting. The moon watches, gentle and patient, as you drift in the calm she leaves behind. Now rest as the stars return to their quiet vigil. The temple sleeps, the moon glows softly, and the gentle presence of the moon priestess carries you into dreams. Let yourself float. Let yourself drift onward, wrapped in the tender embrace of night and memory. The night lay soft and deep over the village, stretching wide like a velvet blanket stitched with silver. Stars shimmered quietly, scattered across the sky in gentle patterns, each one a tiny pulse of light. The wind moved slowly through the trees, carrying the faint scent of pine and the quiet hush of distant rivers. Shadows swayed gently, bending with the rhythm of the night. You float here, weightless, breathing with the calm of darkness and light intertwined. In the center of the village, a small figure sat beneath the tallest tree, her hands reaching toward the sky. She was the weaver of stars, a woman who touched the heavens with quiet fingers, spinning threads between points of light. Her movements were slow and deliberate, like the turning of water around smooth stones. Each thread she wove glimmered faintly, connecting one star to another, drawing gentle pathways across the infinite darkness. You watch her hands, and in the movement there is a slow, steady pulse, as if the universe itself were breathing through her. The villagers often paused outside their homes to glimpse her work. They did not speak loudly, for her presence demanded only stillness. Farmers resting after long days would look upward and see the faint lines of silver stretching across the sky, guiding their dreams with quiet care. Travelers who passed through the village would linger, sensing the gentle map she created, a soft invitation to wander without fear, to move through life with patience and wonder. Even the children who sometimes sat beneath her tree would fall into the hush of her rhythm, lulled by the slow weaving of the cosmos. Her craft was both simple and profound. She did not shape the stars themselves, for they moved according to their own eternal pattern. Instead, she joined them, tracing the invisible threads that connected all things. Each thread was a bridge, a quiet promise that the lives below were part of a larger story. The threads shimmered faintly in the moonlight, catching glimpses of memories, hopes, and the soft hum of the earth. You feel them now, delicate and luminous, brushing against your mind like feathers, reminding you that everything is part of the same gentle rhythm. The weaver's hands moved slowly, weaving patterns that reflected the cycles of the seasons. Circles for the turning of the year, arcs for the rising and setting sun, spirals for the unseen flow of time. Each motion was accompanied by a soft hum, a sound that felt like water lapping quietly against the shore. It was not music in the ordinary sense, but a vibration that resonated through the night, moving through trees, houses, and sleeping villagers, touching even the quiet spaces inside your mind. You drift closer to the tree, feeling the cool earth beneath your body. Leaves brush softly in the wind, and the branches above stretch toward the stars as if trying to touch her threads. Somewhere far away, an owl moves silently through the darkness, its wings wide, its eyes reflecting the silver light. Even it seems to pause in admiration, sensing the care with which the stars are joined. The weaver does not notice, for her focus is calm and complete, and her attention flows outward, embracing the entire night sky. The threads she weaves are not merely for beauty. They carry soft stories, messages from one star to another. They hold quiet hopes of the villagers, whispered wishes of travelers, and the gentle longings of dreamers. When you watch, you feel that your own thoughts, your own breaths, are part of this invisible tapestry. You are connected to the glow above, as if a tiny silver line reaches down to brush your heart with tenderness. As her hands move, the threads catch the moonlight and shimmer faintly. The glow spreads across the village, touching rooftops, windows, and stone paths. The light does not dazzle, it comforts. It reminds each observer of their own small place in the vastness, a space that is safe, known, and cherished. Even in darkness there is connection. Even in silence there is care. You breathe slowly with this thought, letting it settle in your chest like a warm, gentle weight. The weaver pauses for a moment, resting her hands on her knees, her eyes closed beneath the starlit canopy. She listens to the soft pulse of the night, to the distant whisper of rivers, to the rustling of leaves. The stars above seem to lean closer, shimmering in acknowledgement of her care. She smiles faintly, a quiet acknowledgement of the balance she helps maintain. You sense the same smile now, touching the corners of your mind, bringing ease to thoughts that drift too quickly during the day. She begins again, weaving more threads, crossing paths of silver in arcs and circles. You imagine the patterns stretching across the sky, invisible lines that link memories, hopes, and the gentle pulse of life. The threads hum softly, almost like a lullaby. Each hum is slow, each vibration calm. You allow your thoughts to follow these lines, drifting with the rhythm, noticing how your mind becomes lighter, quieter, more still. In the villages below, windows glow softly with lamplight, but even the light seems subdued under the vast canopy of stars. The weaver's presence is gentle, yet powerful in the way it brings peace. She does not command the sky. She does not bend the stars harshly. She moves like a river, shaping without force, guiding without demand, reminding all who see her work that patience and tenderness are themselves sacred. As the night deepens, the threads of the weaver's work become finer, almost imperceptible. They stretch across valleys and forests, across hills and streams, linking each point of light to another, creating a silent map of connection. You sense that somewhere, far beyond your sight, another star whispers its own story into the thread, adding its quiet voice to the song of the night. You float in the middle of these lines, feeling the gentle tug of belonging, the warmth of being part of a larger pattern. The wind moves softly now, brushing across your face and through the branches above. The weaver tilts her head toward the breeze, letting it guide her hands as she finishes one final weave for the night. The threads shimmer faintly before settling, their light soft and steady. She leans back against the trunk of the tree, eyes closed, and breathes slowly, deeply, in harmony with the rhythm she has drawn across the sky. You feel the same steady rhythm in your own chest, a heartbeat aligned with the slow motion of night and stars. Animals move quietly through the darkness, sensing the calm that has settled over the village. Owls glide across the sky. Foxes move softly through the fields, and the faint rustle of small creatures passes in rhythm with the slow, silver hum of the stars. Even the moon seems to pause, glowing with a gentle and steady light, as if blessing the weaver's work and all who sleep beneath it. You lie here, your body heavy with calm, your mind softening like clouds drifting across the night sky. The threads of the weaver's stars are reflected now in your own quiet thoughts, stretching through memory and dream, weaving peace across your consciousness. Each inhalation fills you with silver light. Each exhalation releases the tension of the day. You feel lighter, more serene, connected to the gentle pulse of the universe and the tender care of the weaver. Finally, the night moves onward, slow and steady. The weaver rises, stretches her arms to the stars one last time, and slowly disappears into the quiet village paths. Her presence lingers, soft and enduring, as if the moon itself keeps watch in her absence. The stars continue to shimmer, their lines of silver still connecting distant points, still carrying gentle stories through the endless night. Let yourself float here, in the hush of the village under silver stars. Let your thoughts drift along the luminous threads, carrying you softly toward dreams. The weaver's hands have left a map of calm across the sky, and you follow it gently, step by step, breath by breath. Now rest, as the stars continue their quiet vigil, and the night carries you onward. Let the rhythm of the cosmos, the slow weaving of silver threads, guide you deeper into peace. Sleep softly, held by the gentle hands of the weaver of sacred stars. Night fell softly across the sacred grove, where silver light touched every leaf and stone. Mist rose gently from the river, curling like quiet whispers along the edges of moss-covered rocks. The air smelled faintly of water lilies and damp earth, a sweet, calming scent that drifted on the slow breeze. You float here, letting the hush of evening settle into your body, letting each breath match the gentle rhythm of the flowing water. The river itself moved with a quiet dignity, curving and bending through the grove, its surface glimmering under the moonlight. This was the home of the River Mother, a presence older than the stones, softer than the wind, and steady as the tides. Her waters carried both prayers and tears, gathered from all who had wandered to her banks. They rose quietly like silver threads, joining in the slow journey downstream, where each drop was a story, a sigh, a blessing. Along the river's edge, tall trees leaned in as if listening, their branches brushing the water in tender arcs. Flowers dipped petals gently into the current, sending faint ripples across the surface. The River Mother moved invisibly within the flow, her touch gentle but unmistakable, guiding the water to cradle everything it carried. She did not rush, she did not demand. She moved like time itself, patient, calm, and enduring. You drift beside her waters, feeling their embrace wrap softly around your shoulders, letting tension melt away like dew in morning light. The River Mother had long been a keeper of secrets, a witness to countless lives passing along her shores. Farmers once left offerings on the banks, small flowers and grains, asking for guidance and safety. Travelers dipped hands into her waters, feeling the gentle coolness that seemed to carry comfort through their veins. Dreamers sat for hours beneath the trees, listening to the soft murmur of the current, and slowly learned to hear the rhythm of life itself. You feel this same rhythm now, steady and low, as if the river's pulse is your own. You notice small fish gliding beneath the surface, scales catching moonlight like tiny stars in the dark. They move without hurry, weaving among submerged roots and stones. Their paths mirror the river mother's gentle guidance, never abrupt, always flowing with care. Every ripple they leave behind seems to sing a quiet song, a lullaby meant for hearts seeking rest. You drift among them, letting the gentle vibrations fill your mind and slow the swirl of thoughts. The river mother's wisdom is subtle, carried in soft patterns that repeat and echo. Look closely, and you see how the water curves around rocks without resistance, how it bends under branches instead of breaking them, how it flows past obstacles with patience and ease. She teaches without words, showing that calm persistence is stronger than force, and that even the smallest movement, when steady, can shape the world. You feel yourself leaning into this teaching, letting the night water smooth the rough edges of the day. The trees above sway gently in the breeze, and their reflection shimmers in the water like silver lanterns. Fireflies drift lazily through the grove, leaving tiny trails of light that twinkle and fade. Their movement is slow and unhurried, a delicate dance that seems to honor the quiet river below. Somewhere far away, a heron glides along the current, wings wide and silent, touching the water only briefly before lifting into the night. The river mother smiles softly in these moments, as if every living thing is part of her embrace, held and carried by the flow along the riverbank. Soft stones line the path, smoothened by centuries of water passing over them. Each one has a story, shaped by time and gentle motion. You drift along this path, feeling the cool surface beneath your fingertips, the slow, steady heartbeat of the river echoing through your hands. Tiny waves lap softly against the bank, a repeated sigh that draws you further into stillness. Sometimes the river mother's current carries more than water. It carries emotion, memories, the faint scent of blossoms long gone, tears of sorrow, whispers of hope, the quiet joy of those who once walked these shores. All are gathered and held with care. Nothing is lost, nothing is discarded. Every sorrow is transformed into a soft shimmer that floats onward. Every hope becomes a gentle pulse in the water, a small light that blends with moonbeams to guide those who follow. You feel the gentle lift of this energy, a sense of calm that spreads from the river to your chest, settling your heart in quiet, slow breaths. The air moves softly, brushing your skin with the faint scent of moss and evening blooms. The river mother hums within the water, a vibration felt rather than heard, subtle but steady. It winds its way through your body, slowing your heartbeat, easing your thoughts, and inviting you to sink deeper into the comfort of this gentle night. The current moves around your mind like a soft hand, untangling worries, smoothing edges, carrying each concern gently away. Beneath the surface, smooth stones catch the silver light, and tiny plants sway with the current. The river's depth is unseen, yet there is no fear, only trust, only the steady embrace of flowing life. You imagine the river mother's presence just beneath the surface, guiding each movement, ensuring that every ripple reaches its proper place. You feel this same guidance within, a sense that you are held, even as the river carries you forward without hurry or concern. A small waterfall hums in the distance, and its song blends with the river's soft voice. Droplets catch the moonlight, forming tiny prisms that hang in the night like suspended stars. Each drop seems to carry a fragment of memory, a quiet wish, a gentle blessing. The river mother gathers them all, letting the water's motion cradle and carry them. You feel your thoughts becoming lighter, like these drops rising and dissolving into the flow, leaving a sense of calm that spreads softly through your limbs. Along the banks, flowering reeds sway in unison with the water. Their petals and stems brush the surface, leaving faint trails of silver that catch the eye if you watch closely. The river mother's care extends to every leaf, every stone, every ripple. She does not force, she does not demand. She simply moves with the quiet rhythm of the night, teaching the world that patience and care can hold as much power as any forceful hand. You breathe in this lesson slowly, letting it settle inside your chest like a warm, soft stone. Night deepens, and the stars above shimmer faintly, reflected in the rippling water. Each reflection seems alive, moving with the river, bending in arcs that mirror the flow. The River Mother's presence is everywhere, not in form, but in essence. A calm, enduring current that touches everything it passes. You float along, carried not only by the water but by the quiet energy of her guidance. A gentle pulse that lingers long after the river has passed. Finally, the river begins to quiet as it winds toward a hidden pool deeper in the grove. The water slows, forming a still mirror of silver under the moonlight. Here the River Mother pauses, and you sense the weight of calm in the very air. The trees above lean in, the reeds sway softly, and even the fireflies seem to hover. Suspended in a moment of perfect stillness, you feel this same stillness settle in your body, as though every cell has been touched by her flowing hands, released from tension and held in quiet peace. Let yourself drift here, at the edge of the river, where silver reflections ripple softly in the night. Let the gentle pulse of flowing water carry you into calm dreams. The River Mother's embrace holds all who come near, wrapping them in tenderness, patience, and the quiet certainty that all is well. Now rest, as the stars return to their watchful vigil and the water hums its soft lullaby. Drift onward, carried by gentle currents, and let sleep unfold, slow and serene, within the loving flow of the River Mother's embrace. The desert stretches endlessly, a sea of soft gold beneath a quiet, deepening sky. Twilight moves slowly across the dunes, and the wind carries the scent of warm sand and distant blooms. Shadows stretch like gentle fingers over the hills, curling softly where night begins to settle. You float here weightless, letting the vast stillness cradle your thoughts, letting each breath match the slow rhythm of the land. In this expanse of quiet, a figure appears on the horizon, moving lightly over the sand. She is the Desert Oracle, a woman whose presence flows like the wind itself. Her robes trail softly behind her, catching the last light of the sun and reflecting it like a gentle flame. Her steps leave no harsh mark, only a soft impression that the earth remembers, a whisper of movement that blends seamlessly with the desert's hush. She sits atop a high dune, eyes closed, listening. The wind bends around her, carrying secrets hidden in every grain of sand. Each tiny particle seems alive, holding memories of storms, of travelers, of whispers long forgotten. The oracle does not seek to command the desert, nor does she hurry. She moves with patience, letting the slow unfolding of time guide her awareness. You drift closer, feeling the calm pulse that radiates from her, a steady rhythm that syncs with the rise and fall of the dunes themselves. The oracle's voice is soft, carried not by force, but by presence. She speaks with the wind, and the sand responds. It swirls in gentle spirals around her, reflecting the silver of the moon rising over the horizon. Her words are not heard in the ordinary sense, they are felt. A slow vibration in the air, a quiet suggestion that moves like water across your skin, letting tension dissolve. You breathe with it, inhaling calm, exhaling the rest of the day's weight, letting the desert teach its patient lesson. Travelers once came to the oracle's dunes to find guidance, seeking her soft counsel for journeys, for questions too delicate to voice aloud. Farmers and shepherds paused at the desert's edge to listen to her whispers carried on the wind. She did not answer in commands, nor did she speak in certainty. Her wisdom flowed in gentle patterns, in pauses, in subtle hints. She taught trust in intuition, the quiet understanding that the right path often arrives in its own time, and that patience can be as powerful as any action. The desert itself seemed to mirror her teachings. Dunes rose and fell slowly, sculpted by centuries of wind. Shadows stretched and softened in the twilight, holding space for stillness. Tiny ripples of sand shifted with the slightest breeze, reminding you that movement does not require force, that change can happen gently, steadily, without alarm. Even the stars above seemed to pause and watch, scattered across the sky like faint sparks, small lanterns guiding the way with quiet light. The oracle lifted her hands to the sky, letting the wind curl between her fingers. She traced patterns invisible to ordinary eyes, threads that connected distant dunes, ancient wells, and hidden oases. The air hummed faintly, carrying these subtle rhythms across the desert. You feel the hum now, vibrating softly through your chest, letting your body sink deeper into calm. Each heartbeat matches the slow pulse of the sand. Each breath becomes a soft tide moving through the vast landscape. Animals stir quietly among the dunes. desert foxes, owls and small creatures that move with careful grace. None rush, all move in harmony with the oracle's steady rhythm. She notices them without turning, acknowledging their presence with a subtle tilt of her head. Each life is part of the desert's slow dance, and her soft energy joins it, holding it in quiet balance. You drift among this harmony, feeling your thoughts untangle, your mind smoothing into the gentle contours of the night. The wind carries the faint scent of distant flowers and warm earth, a reminder that even in the seemingly barren landscape, life moves softly, persistently, and with care. The oracle listens to the whispers of the desert, letting the smallest sounds guide her understanding. She does not hurry, she does not force. The desert teaches her, and she teaches through her presence, through calm, through patience, through the gentle acknowledgement that all things unfold in their own time. The dunes begin to shimmer under the moonlight, each grain catching a faint glow, tiny mirrors reflecting the silver above. The oracle stands slowly, letting her robes fall into the soft curves of sand beneath her. She moves to a nearby crest, gazing across the endless expanse. Her eyes are soft, wide, reflecting the sky, the dunes, and the quiet pulse of the desert. You sense the vastness of time here, and you feel a steady ease settle in your chest, a reminder that all journeys have their rhythm, all lives have their place. She kneels once more, tracing lines in the sand with a delicate finger. Each line is a story, each curve a map of patience, each circle a whisper of guidance. These markings are temporary, yet they hold power in their quiet persistence. The sand moves with the wind, carrying faint echoes of her attention, and you float within this subtle magic, letting it touch your thoughts, letting it slow the swirl of your mind. The oracle hums softly, a tone that matches the slow vibration of the wind. It carries faintly across the dunes, brushing the tops of the hills, moving gently through valleys and hidden depressions. The sound is a lullaby, a thread weaving the night together, a quiet song that cradles every traveler who pauses to listen. You breathe with it, letting the hum settle your body, letting the desert teach you how to move softly through your own inner landscape. Stars emerge one by one, tiny sparks in the vast sky. The oracle tilts her face upward, letting their faint glow touch her skin. Each star feels like a story, a memory, a gentle guide. She traces invisible threads between them, weaving the night sky into patterns that are both simple and profound. You watch the lines form in your mind, soft arcs and curves, and you feel your own thoughts joining in, moving more slowly, more gently, in harmony with the rhythm above. The dunes themselves respond to her presence, shadows curling into quiet shapes, sand rippling in gentle waves. The wind bends, soft and light, carrying the faintest whispers of past travelers and whispered prayers. Every movement is subtle, yet powerful in its calm insistence. The oracle teaches not through speech, but through the very essence of being, showing that quiet patience can shape the world as surely as action. You feel her teaching now, settling into your mind like a soft, enduring thread. Animals stir once more in the distance, moving softly through the sands. The desert hums faintly, alive in its own slow, deliberate rhythm. The oracle kneels, letting the wind curl around her again, lifting grains of sand gently into the air. She traces more lines, patterns unseen yet meaningful. You drift along the lines, letting them guide your thoughts to stillness, letting the quiet of the desert sink into every corner of your being. Finally, she rises and steps toward a ridge overlooking the endless expanse. The moon shines full and bright, casting a calm glow over the dunes. The oracle pauses, letting her presence blend seamlessly with the wind, the sand, the soft shimmer of moonlight. You feel yourself moving into this same stillness, weightless, calm, and held by the gentle embrace of the desert night. Let yourself float here, in the hush of sand and stars. Let the oracle's patience flow through you, softening every thought, easing every worry. The wind carries her quiet wisdom onward, through the dunes, across valleys, and into your heart. Now rest as the stars return to their watchful vigil, and the desert holds you in its timeless embrace. Drift onward, carried by the slow rhythm of sand and wind, and let sleep come gently, soft and serene, within the quiet presence of the desert oracle. The first light of morning spills softly across the horizon, brushing the edges of the sky with gentle amber and rose. The world is hushed, as if holding its breath, waiting for the soft stir of the day. You float here, enveloped in the quiet glow, feeling the gentle warmth of sunlight touch your skin like a slow, tender hand. Every shadow moves softly. Every whisper of wind carries calm, and the air itself seems to pause, waiting for the day's gentle awakening. In the heart of a quiet temple, nestled atop a hill, the Flamekeeper stands beside her eternal fires. The flames dance softly, golden and steady, reflecting the first light of dawn. She tends them with care, her hands moving slowly, deliberately, as though each gesture is a prayer. The fire is quiet yet alive, mirroring the gentle strength within her. Its warmth spreads outward, brushing the temple walls, the smooth stones, and the small courtyard where dew rests lightly on grass and petals. The Keeper's eyes follow each flicker, listening to its quiet conversation. Flames speak in whispers of light and shadow, teaching patience, focus, and stillness. She moves her hands close, then back again, coaxing the fire to grow without force. Sparks lift briefly into the air, twinkling like tiny stars that have drifted from the night. You watch them rise, slow and deliberate, feeling their soft heat touch your chest, a gentle reminder of the quiet power that lives in all hearts. Villagers once came to the temple at dawn, carrying the soft weight of worry, the gentle ache of hope, or the quiet longing of unspoken dreams. They brought small offerings, grains, flowers, incense. The Flamekeeper did not judge or demand. She received their gifts with calm presence, letting the fire carry them upward, turning worries into warmth, hopes into light. You feel your own thoughts lifted now, resting lightly in the warmth of the flames, leaving you peaceful and still. The fire's rhythm is slow and steady, moving like breath. Each flicker rises, curves, and settles, a quiet dance that carries meaning without words. The Keeper's movements follow this rhythm, her hands tracing soft arcs above the flames, leaving trails of intention that shimmer briefly in the early light. You notice how her focus is not hurried. Each moment stretches, expansive and calm, like a river flowing without urgency, and your own breathing begins to follow the same gentle cadence. Outside, the world begins to wake. Birds stir in the trees, their calls soft and measured. Dew drops tremble on leaves and petals, catching the firelight and scattering tiny points of glow. The wind carries faint scents of earth, of blossoms of the cool morning. All of it moves in harmony with the Keeper's flame, a delicate balance of warmth, light, and slow motion. You float among these sensations, letting them soothe every corner of your mind, letting each one settle you further into peace. The Keeper bends closer to the fire, letting her hands hover just above the flames. She murmurs softly, words like flowing water, gentle as the breath of dawn. The fire responds, lifting higher in arcs of gold, then settling into quiet stability. She does not speak loudly. She does not rush. Her presence alone is a guide, a quiet reminder that even small, steady care can hold profound strength. You feel this in yourself now, a soft courage that flows through your chest, a warmth that is steady, gentle, and enduring. Each flame is a story, a whisper of past lives, hopes, and quiet acts of love. Sparks drift upward and vanish, but their light lingers in memory. The Keeper watches them rise and fade with calm reverence, knowing that even brief illumination has its place. You drift alongside them, each spark brushing your mind softly, clearing it of noise and tension, leaving a space that feels expansive, safe, and warm. The temple itself seems to breathe with the flame. Shadows stretch and curl along the walls, soft and deliberate. The stones hum faintly underfoot, echoing the heartbeat of the fire. Even the air carries a slow vibration, a gentle pulse that touches your skin, your hands, your chest. You inhale deeply, feeling the warmth of the flame mingle with your own energy, and exhale slowly, letting the tension of the day melt away, leaving only soft calm. The Keeper moves through the courtyard now, her robes brushing lightly against the stone. She pauses at the edge of a small fountain, where water trickles quietly over moss and pebbles. The firelight reflects in the water, creating small paths of gold that ripple across the surface. She bends and touches the water lightly, letting the reflection of the flame meet her fingers. The connection is quiet, sacred, and gentle, as though fire and water share a secret rhythm, teaching harmony, patience, and care. You feel the same rhythm within yourself, soft and steady, guiding your mind toward rest. As the sun rises higher, the flames continue their dance, but with a slower, deeper pulse. The keeper moves beside them with care, attentive to every flicker, every arc of light, every whisper of smoke curling upward. Her focus is absolute yet calm, a stillness that invites trust, a presence that encourages letting go. You drift here with her, your mind quieting, your body settling, each breath sinking with the gentle rise and fall of the fire. Sparks rise once more, twinkling in arcs that reach the sky and disappear. The keeper smiles faintly, a soft acknowledgement of the work she tends and the world she touches. Each flame, each spark, each gentle shift of light and shadow carries with it the quiet strength of patience and presence. You feel this strength now, resting lightly in your chest, a gentle warmth that will remain as you drift further into stillness. The air moves softly around the temple, brushing the keeper's face and robes, lifting tiny flecks of ash and sparks in slow, deliberate motion. They drift upward, mingling with the morning light, vanishing gently into the open sky. The rhythm is calm, unhurried, like a slow tide rising over gentle shores. You float along with it, letting the subtle motion settle your thoughts, letting your body rest in the warmth and steadiness of this quiet morning ritual. The keeper pauses finally, letting her hands rest above the last flickering flames. She listens to the subtle crackle, the soft sigh of rising smoke, the hum of warmth that lingers even as firelight softens. You feel the same gentle hum within yourself now, a heartbeat aligned with the slow, enduring energy of the flame. It is a quiet courage, a gentle strength, a reminder that even in stillness there is power, and even in silence there is guidance. You lie here drifting closer to sleep, the warmth of the flame and the calm of the morning temple surrounding you. The keeper steps back, letting the fire burn steadily, unchanged and eternal, a small light to guide every traveler, every dreamer, every wandering soul. The temple breathes in harmony with the flame, the stones, the air, and you. All is calm. All is held. Let yourself float here in the gentle light and warmth, where the flame keeper tends the fires of dawn. Let your mind settle into the slow pulse of flame and breath. Let the quiet courage within rise softly, steady and gentle, carrying you into calm dreams. Now rest, as the sun continues its rise, and the eternal fires keep watch over the world. Drift onward, carried by warmth and light, and let sleep come softly, serene and steady, within the embrace of the flame keeper of dawn. The morning mist drifts softly across a hidden garden, where light falls in gentle patches among the leaves. Dew clings to each petal and blade, glimmering like tiny stars that have settled on earth. You float here, weightless, letting the quiet hum of nature settle your mind, each breath slow and even, as though the garden itself is breathing with you. In the center, a priestess moves quietly among rows of lilies. Her hands glide over the plants, fingertips brushing petals so soft they seem to hold the very essence of air. The flowers sway gently in a faint breeze, whispering in a language only the heart can understand. Each petal seems alive, carrying secrets from the unseen, soft messages meant to guide those who listen. You drift closer, feeling the gentle energy of the garden settle around your shoulders like a shawl of warmth. The lilies are of many colors, each chosen with care: pale ivory, blush pink, soft lavender, and golden amber. Each hue holds a meaning, a whisper of grace, hope, or quiet strength. The priestess bends, inhaling their fragrance, letting it fill the space between her breaths. The scent moves slowly through the garden, brushing over the stones, the moss, the small fountain at its heart. You breathe in this aroma too, letting it calm your thoughts, soften your mind, and ease your body into serenity. The priestess does not hurry. Her work is gentle, precise, and filled with patience. Each lily is tended as if it carries a fragment of the divine, and in truth it does. The soft sway of petals mirrors the rhythm of life itself, teaching that even the smallest motion can create waves of change. As you drift among the rows, you notice how the flowers seem to respond to her presence. Bows of white, tips of gold, and petals that lean slightly in greeting, as if acknowledging her care. Soft sounds fill the garden, the faint trickle of water from a stone fountain, the whisper of wind brushing through leaves, the distant call of a bird perched just beyond the walls. Even the air feels alive, carrying vibrations of peace, nurturing, and subtle joy. The priestess pauses beside a cluster of lilies, her hands hovering lightly above them, listening to the silent messages that drift from flower to flower. You feel the same messages brush your mind, gentle, calm, and reassuring, like a lullaby without words. Each lily is a story, each petal a letter from the divine. The priestess arranges them with care, turning blooms toward the light, removing leaves that have begun to fade, and whispering soft blessings over each plant. These acts are quiet yet powerful. They remind you that attention given with love, no matter how gentle, carries strength. You drift closer to this understanding, letting the soft rhythm of care and nurture settle into your own heart. The garden is enclosed by ancient walls, ivy curling along stone and moss, softening each edge. Sunlight filters through cracks in the leaves, casting shifting patterns on the ground that move like water over sand. You watch these slow dances of light and shadow, letting them mirror the gentle movements of your thoughts, coaxing them into stillness. Each shifting patch is a reminder that life moves quietly, that change is natural, and that patience allows all things to unfold in their own time. Water ripples softly in the fountain, carrying reflections of lilies, sky, and priestess. The priestess leans close to the surface, her reflection merging with the flowers above, a soft echo of presence and attention. You float beside this reflection, letting it guide your mind into calm observation. Thoughts drift past like petals on the water's surface, light and soft, carried gently away without effort or worry. The priestess moves slowly among the rows again, her hands hovering over the lilies, tracing invisible patterns. She listens as petals whisper in the breeze, soft voices that carry reassurance, guidance, and quiet wonder. Even the smallest bloom carries a message, and each message is different. Yet all are gentle. You feel the messages touch your mind, calming and soothing every worry, every tension, until your thoughts move in quiet arcs like the petals themselves. A soft wind brushes across the garden, lifting the fragrance of lilies and the faint hum of life. The priestess closes her eyes for a moment, letting the breeze carry her intentions, allowing the garden to receive her presence fully. She is not hurried. There is no need. Each movement, each breath, each petal's sway is perfect in its own time. You float with her calm energy, feeling the same steady presence enter your body and mind, leaving nothing but quiet warmth. Above the garden, the sun rises slowly, its light soft and golden. The walls cast gentle shadows that retreat with the growing warmth. The lilies lean into the sun, petals unfolding fully, embracing the light. The priestess smiles faintly, sensing the energy of day settling into each bloom. You watch this quiet miracle, letting the gentle unfolding of light and life guide your own mind into stillness, letting each exhale release more tension than the last. Small creatures move softly through the garden, a bird landing lightly on a branch, a butterfly drifting among the blooms, a bee tracing the edge of a petal without disturbing it. Even they seem aware of the priestess's calm presence, moving with the rhythm of the garden, each action deliberate, soft, and in harmony. You drift with them, feeling the same gentle flow, your heartbeat slowing, your breath deepening, your mind and body settling into rest. The lilies sway once more in a faint wind, their whispers blending into a quiet chorus. The priestess kneels among them, tracing a line of blossoms with her fingers, soft as a sigh. She hums a faint tone, barely audible, a lullaby that resonates in the air, the water, the petals, and the stones. You feel the hum reach your chest, vibrating softly, settling every anxious thought, and encouraging your body to relax fully. Time stretches in this garden. Minutes, hours, or perhaps moments. Here it is impossible to tell, and it does not matter. Everything moves slowly. The light, the petals, the priestess, and you. You float among these rhythms, each one teaching the soft lesson of patience, the gentle flow of life, and the power of attention given with love. The garden holds all, nurtures all, and you are part of its calm embrace. Finally, the priestess rises, letting her hands hover lightly over the lilies one last time. She turns slowly, moving toward the garden's edge, leaving a soft trail of warmth in the air. The petals sway as if waving goodbye, their whispers lingering like gentle echoes. You float here, held in this quiet energy, your body heavy with calm, your mind drifting softly among the light, fragrance, and motion of the lilies. Let yourself rest here in the hush of petals and breeze. Let the soft sway of flowers guide your thoughts to stillness, Let the warm hum of life settle into your chest. The garden, the lilies and the priestess's care surround you, holding you gently. Now rest as the sun climbs higher, and the whispers of the lilies continue their quiet song. Drift onward, carried by fragrance, light and calm, and let sleep come softly, serene and unhurried, within the gentle embrace of the garden of whispering lilies. The night sky stretches endlessly above, deep and quiet, dotted with distant stars that twinkle like tiny lanterns in the vast darkness. A soft wind carries the faint chill of snow and pine brushing across hills and frozen lakes. You float here, weightless, letting the cool air brush your cheeks and the quiet rhythm of the night slow your breath. All around the world is hushed, waiting for the gentle magic that moves through the northern skies. From the far horizon, a shimmer begins to glow. Colors drift slowly like flowing ribbons of light. Soft greens, gentle purples, pale golds that ripple and curl across the darkness. The Star Mother appears beneath these lights, her presence calm and radiant. Her hair glows faintly, catching the aurora's colors, and her eyes reflect the stars above. She moves slowly, deliberately, stepping across snow and ice as if the ground itself welcomes her touch. You drift closer, feeling her serene energy brush against your mind and heart. She raises her hands to the sky, and the auroras respond, flowing more vividly in gentle waves. The colors swirl in arcs and spirals, casting soft reflections over the frozen landscape. Mountains and valleys catch the glow, their edges softened by the light. The Star Mother's voice is not loud. It is carried in whispers of the wind, subtle as snowflakes falling. Her tone reaches the heart rather than the ears, a quiet guidance that soothes and reassures. Travelers once wandered into this northern wilderness, lost among the frozen forests, unsure which path would lead them home. Some came seeking knowledge, some seeking comfort, some seeking themselves. The Star Mother appeared for all, her presence a steady glow in the deepest night. She guided them not with commands, but with the soft pulse of her light, showing the way gently as one might lead a hand through a shadowed room. You feel this gentle guidance now, allowing your thoughts to settle into calm patterns, free from fear or rush. The auroras move slowly above her, ribbons of color that bend and sway in invisible currents. They trace quiet paths across the sky, mirrors of rivers, valleys, and trails below. The Star Mother's hands move in harmony with the lights, weaving arcs that match the rhythm of your own breath. Each rise and fall of the aurora seems deliberate yet effortless, a dance of patience and serenity that teaches the quiet power of presence. You drift alongside it, letting the slow motion of light settle your mind. She kneels beside a frozen stream, its surface smooth and glassy. Snow rests on its banks like a soft blanket, and faint reflections of stars shimmer across the ice. The Star Mother touches the surface gently, sending tiny ripples outward. Each ripple mirrors the aurora above, connecting the heavens with the earth in soft, deliberate waves. You feel your own thoughts ripple similarly, moving gently, settling into the calm flow of night, leaving only soft clarity in their wake. The creatures of the north move quietly around her. A fox pauses, observing, its breath curling in the cold air. Owls drift silently among the pines, their wings stirring no sound but carrying presence. Even the faint tracks of wandering deer seem to bend toward her warmth. Nothing is hurried, nothing is forced. Each movement is measured, natural, and in harmony with the quiet pulse of the Star Mother's guidance. You drift with them, floating through this soft, luminous night. She rises again, hands lifted toward the sky. The auroras respond, arching higher, trailing faint threads of green and violet across the horizon. Her presence is steady and calm, a lighthouse for wandering hearts. Each traveler she meets feels the same warmth and light, the same gentle reassurance that they are seen and guided. You feel it too, a subtle current moving through your chest. Your mind, your breath, a quiet reminder that even in darkness, light can be found. Stars shimmer more brightly as the auroras pulse above, weaving through the darkness in slow arcs. The Star Mother traces the paths of constellations, soft lines connecting distant points of light. Each thread is a story, each glow a memory, and each movement a reminder that the universe is patient, enduring, and ever watchful. You drift among these threads, letting them carry your mind into calm, quiet reflection. Snowflakes descend lightly, carried by the gentle wind. Each flake settles softly on the Star Mother's shoulders and hair, catching the aurora's glow before melting silently. Even these small moments seem infused with her presence, teaching that attention to detail, to small movements, carries its own quiet power. You notice each flake, feel its gentle touch, and let it remind you of the softness that exists within stillness and presence. The northern forest surrounds her, trees bending gently under the weight of frost and snow. Moonlight filters through the branches, touching patches of ice and snow with a silver glow. The Star Mother's movements harmonize with this light, each step deliberate, soft, and graceful. You follow in her rhythm, letting each step, each breath, each thought slow and settle. The chill of the night mixes with the warmth of her presence, creating a balance that calms and reassures. She kneels again, tracing soft circles in the snow with her fingertips. Each circle glows faintly, a temporary lantern in the quiet darkness. They pulse softly, fading gradually, leaving only memory of warmth and light. You drift alongside these circles, letting each one wash over your mind, removing tension, clearing worry, and leaving only calm awareness in its place. The auroras bend lower, sweeping gently across the treetops. The Star Mother lifts her hands, drawing them upward again, and the colors follow, weaving soft waves that ripple across the horizon. You feel these waves as a gentle current, rushing through your thoughts, guiding them into a quiet pattern. Each wave slows your breathing, softens your muscles, and eases the edges of your mind. She steps lightly across the snow, leaving faint impressions that vanish almost as soon as they are made. Each step seems deliberate, yet effortless, teaching the power of gentle movement and calm presence. Even the wind seems to pause for her, carrying whispers of aurora and star through the forest, brushing softly against your skin, settling your mind further into rest. The auroras begin to dim slightly, their soft colors fading into the deep blue of night. The Star Mother stands beneath the remaining glow, her presence steady and calm. She tilts her face toward the stars, letting their faint light touch her cheeks and hair. You feel the same calm touch, a soft reassurance, a gentle embrace of quiet. All is held, all is steady, all is safe. You drift here, floating in the hush of snow, stars, and aurora. The Star Mother's quiet guidance wraps around you, steady and warm. Each breath matches the pulse of the night, slow and unhurried. Each heartbeat echoes her calm presence, leaving only peace in its wake. Let yourself rest here, in the soft glow of aurora and starlight. Let the gentle movement of light and snow carry your thoughts to stillness. The Star Mother watches, her presence steady, her guidance subtle, her embrace quiet and unwavering. Now rest, as the auroras slowly fade and the stars return to their watchful vigil. Drift onward, carried by gentle light and calm presence, and let sleep come softly, serene and deep. Within the embrace of the Star Mother of the Northern Lights, the horizon stretches quietly, where sky and sea meet in a soft, unbroken line. The waves ripple gently over sandy shores, their whispers carrying the secrets of distant lands. A faint breeze drifts across the coastline, carrying the smell of salt, the softness of sea foam, and the gentle touch of water on sun-warmed stones. You float here, weightless, letting the rhythm of the waves match the rhythm of your own breath, slow and even. Along these quiet shores, the sea women move gracefully. Their hair glints with the reflection of moonlight and stars, flowing like the tides themselves. Their feet glide just above the sand, leaving no mark, yet sending gentle ripples of calm into the waters. They sing soft melodies, voices so quiet and soothing that the waves themselves seem to lean closer, listening. Each note is a caress, a lullaby for the land and the travelers who pass by. The songs carry messages older than memory, whispered in rhythms of the tides. Some speak of hope, others of surrender, some simply murmur of eternal peace. Each word flows seamlessly into the next, as natural as the rise and fall of the sea. You feel the words touch your mind like warm water, soft and fluid, easing every tight thought, loosening every tension, until only serenity remains. The sea women move in unison with the waves. When a tide swells, they lift their arms, guiding it gently back to shore. When it falls, they kneel to touch the sand, letting it absorb their calm. Every motion is deliberate yet effortless, teaching patience, presence, and the quiet power of care. You drift alongside them, feeling your thoughts flow as easily as the water at your feet. Shells and sea glass scatter along the shore, catching fragments of moonlight. Each one seems to hold a story, a message carried across oceans, a memory of storms weathered, a whisper of love or longing. The sea women pause to pick these treasures, cradling them in their hands, letting their soft touch preserve the gentle energy within. You watch, letting their care remind you that even the smallest details can carry immense peace. The waves hum beneath their songs, a quiet accompaniment to their lullabies. The sound is soft, rhythmic, and constant, a heartbeat of the sea itself. You match your own breathing to it, inhaling with the rise of the tide, exhaling with the fall. With each cycle, your mind drifts further from worry, further into calm. The sea women's melodies mingle with the waves, forming a harmony that embraces everything in sight: the sky, the water, the sand, and your own quiet presence. The sky above shimmers with faint starlight, reflected in the water like scattered diamonds. The moon casts a gentle glow, illuminating the sea women's path as they move along the coastline. Their songs seem to lift the stars slightly higher, as if each note reaches upward, carrying quiet hopes into the night. You float beneath this light, feeling its warmth, its gentleness, and the same steady guidance that the sea women offer to every wandering soul. Small creatures stir near the water's edge. Crabs crawl softly along wet sand, and seagulls call faintly from distant cliffs. Even they move in harmony with the sea women, pausing to listen, their motions soft and deliberate. The entire shoreline breathes with calm, a living chorus of quiet life. You drift with it, each heartbeat slower, each thought lighter, as the peace of this hidden coast settles within you. The sea women pause beside a shallow cove, where the waves fold gently into themselves. They kneel and trace patterns in the wet sand, soft spirals and circles that reflect the tides above. Each pattern glows faintly with the touch of their hands, a quiet imprint of serenity, meant not to last but to leave its subtle calm behind. You feel these patterns ripple into your own mind, sending waves of warmth and safety through every corner of thought. They rise again, moving along the water's edge, hands extended over the waves. Their songs shift slightly, carrying new tones, reassurance, courage, and soft reminders of inner strength. The sea listens, carrying these vibrations far beyond the visible shore, reaching the hearts of travelers, dreamers, and even you. Each note is a gentle pulse, a soft vibration that guides your mind into calm reflection. The tides respond to them, brushing gently over stones, embracing shells, and leaving only a smooth, quiet surface behind. The sea women glide across this mirror of water, and as they move, small sparkles of light rise from beneath the waves. They drift like tiny lanterns, floating upward, mingling with the moonlight, reflecting the beauty of stillness and surrender. You watch, letting your mind float with them, carried by gentle motion and soft illumination. Clouds drift lazily across the night sky, soft and diffuse, filtering starlight in a way that feels protective. Like a blanket over the world, the sea women stop, turning to face the horizon. Their song softens even further, notes stretching long and tender. The water stills and the moonlight grows warmer, bathing the shoreline in silver gold calm. You feel this calm enter every muscle, every thought, until your body and mind are as still as the water itself. The final notes of their song rise slowly, fading like the soft retreat of waves after a gentle tide. The sea women kneel one last time, letting their hands hover just above the water, as if touching the air itself. The waves seem to carry the last vibrations forward, spreading reassurance, hope, and peace into the night. You drift here, weightless, letting every sound, every shimmer, every soft motion settle you completely. The wind carries a faint scent of salt and petals from hidden coastal flowers. It brushes your skin gently, weaving warmth and coolness together, reminding you of the balance between surrender and presence. You float in this balance as the shoreline, the moon, and the sea women all hold you softly, securely, and without urgency. Let yourself rest here, in the hush of waves and lull of songs. Let the gentle rise and fall of the sea match your breathing, and let the subtle magic of the forgotten shores fill you with quiet. Each note, each ripple, each shimmer guides you deeper into calm, until all that remains is peace. Now rest as the sea women's voices fade into the night, and the waves continue their eternal song. Drift onward, carried by soft tides, gentle light, and the quiet presence of those who walk the shores unseen, and let sleep come softly, serene and unhurried, in the embrace of the sea women of forgotten shores. The temple rests in quiet shadow, carved from ancient stone that has felt centuries of wind and sun. Moonlight spills softly across the worn steps, brushing each carved symbol with a gentle silver glow. You float here, feeling the cool stone beneath your fingertips and the hush of the night surrounding you. Each breath slow, each heartbeat steady. The world outside fades, and only the calm of this sacred place remains. Inside the temple, corridors stretch silently, lined with doorways both open and closed. The keeper moves lightly among them, her presence calm, steady, and gentle. In her hands, she carries keys that shimmer faintly, catching the moonlight as if they are small pieces of the stars themselves. Each key is unique, as though crafted from memory, hope, and quiet understanding. You drift alongside her, feeling the ease of her steps, the softness of her energy, and the gentle weight of time held in her care. She pauses at a doorway, carved with delicate flowers and flowing lines, symbols of compassion and patience. Slowly, she lifts a key and fits it into the lock. The door opens without sound, revealing a warm glow within. You feel the light touch your mind, carrying whispers of kindness and quiet understanding. Stories unfold in the air, not spoken, but felt, tales of gentle guidance, of lives touched by unseen hands, of hearts encouraged to trust and heal. The keeper moves through each doorway with patience, letting each key find its perfect home. Some doors reveal vast libraries of wisdom, their shelves filled with scrolls and soft illuminated tomes. Others open to tranquil gardens where water flows in silver streams, reflecting starlight, and petals drift slowly through the air. Every door she opens is a lesson, a story, a quiet offering of presence and serenity. You feel the calm of each space wash over you, leaving your thoughts slower, lighter, more at ease. A gentle wind moves through the temple, brushing faintly against columns and walls, carrying scents of herbs and aged wood. The keeper tilts her head slightly, listening to the subtle harmony of air, stone, and quiet footsteps. Even the wind seems to pause for her, bending to follow her movement, softening and guiding your awareness into the rhythm of this sacred space. Each inhalation brings calm. Each exhalation releases tension. In a chamber shaped like a crescent moon, the keeper kneels, fitting a key into a lock that rests in a frame of carved stars. Light flows through, spilling over the floor like liquid silver. The air vibrates softly, carrying echoes of stories told long ago, of women who nurtured, healed, and guided, of travelers who found refuge in gentle hands, of moments of quiet courage that transformed the world in subtle, unseen ways. You feel these stories ripple through you, settling into every corner of your mind and body, leaving only a soft, luminous calm. The keys in her hands glimmer in harmony with the temple's quiet light, each movement deliberate and slow. She lifts one, then another, guiding them to doors with care and respect. You watch as each door opens to a space of tranquility, quiet pools that mirror starlight, hallways lined with glowing inscriptions, alcoves filled with soft swaying drapery. The keeper does not hurry, and neither do you. The pace of this place is the pace of gentle breathing, slow and even, steady as the earth beneath your feet. Some doors reveal echoes of distant mountains, touched by dawn's first light, their peaks brushing clouds in silence. Others open to serene forests, where sunlight filters through leaves and soft winds hum through branches. Each doorway carries its own lesson: patience, resilience, kindness, and the quiet power of listening. The keeper's hands trace the outlines of each lock, her touch soft, and you sense the same gentleness flowing into yourself, settling your thoughts and calming your mind. A distant bell rings softly, carried through the halls by unseen hands. The sound is neither urgent nor startling, merely a gentle reminder of presence, rhythm, and attention. The keeper moves toward it with ease, and you follow, feeling the resonance reach into your chest, softening your heartbeat, slowing your breath. Even the temple itself seems to hum in quiet agreement, every stone, every beam, every shadow participating in the lullaby of calm. She pauses at a tall doorway, adorned with crescent moons and glimmering constellations. With a delicate twist, the key turns, and the door opens to a courtyard bathed in starlight. Flowers with petals like shimmering silk sway in a quiet breeze. Water trickles from a small fountain, its sound gentle as a whispered story. The keeper steps inside, her presence blending seamlessly with the serenity, and you float behind her, letting the peace of the courtyard settle into your bones and mind. Through each door, you sense the connection of all things, the skies above, the earth beneath, the hearts that have passed through here, and the lives yet to be touched. Each key is more than metal. It is intention, care, and the sacred act of opening space for understanding, love, and reflection. You feel your own heart align with this rhythm, slow and steady, attuned to the quiet pulse of wisdom and gentle guidance that fills the temple. She kneels by a small, circular pool, its surface smooth and reflective. The keeper dips her hands lightly into the water, sending tiny ripples outward. Each ripple carries the glow of the keys, shimmering faintly in soft patterns that reach every corner of the courtyard. You watch the ripples extend, touching every stone, every flower, and every shadow, and you feel them move through you, releasing tension, softening thoughts, and inviting calm. The keeper rises and moves once more through the temple, keys glimmering softly in her hands. The doors she opens now show spaces of stillness, alcoves with cushions, walls lined with delicate inscriptions, and gentle lights that pulse like slow breaths. Each door invites you to pause, to linger, to let your mind rest within the gentle embrace of presence and quiet understanding. As the night deepens, the keeper stands at the temple's highest point. Moonlight washes over her, silvering her hair and highlighting the faint glow of her keys. She lifts one hand to the sky and the keys shimmer in response, echoing the quiet beauty of stars above. You feel your own chest rise and fall in time with the soft pulses, your mind unburdened, your heart calm, your spirit soothed. The corridors, the doors, the light, and the keeper all hold you gently. Each step, each turn of a key, each ripple of water carries quiet reassurance. Here, there is nothing to hurry, nothing to fear, nothing to grasp. Only the serene unfolding of night, the steady heartbeat of stone and story, and the soft, guiding presence of the keeper of celestial keys. Let yourself rest here, beneath arches of stone, beneath the watchful stars, beneath the soft glow of every key. Let your thoughts settle like petals on water, and let the gentle rhythm of her movements guide you deeper into calm. Every doorway, every story, every soft glimmer of light invites serenity into your mind and body. Now drift. As the keeper moves quietly through the temple, the keys soft in her hands, the story she opens settling like soft snow in your heart. Let sleep arrive gently, slowly, and completely, within the embrace of wisdom, stillness, and the quiet grace of the keeper of celestial keys. The horizon stretches wide and soft, a palette of twilight hues spilling across mountains and valleys. You float gently into this world, where air carries the cool scent of distant forests, and the earth beneath is steady and familiar. Shadows lengthen across rolling hills, and the whisper of wind moves slowly through the trees, brushing leaves against one another in quiet, secret rhythms. Somewhere beyond the hills, a river hums softly, a song as old as the land itself, carrying echoes of the unseen. A figure appears along a winding path, moving with calm assurance. She is the silent pilgrim, her steps deliberate yet unhurried, as if the earth itself guides her way. Each footfall touches the ground lightly, leaving no trace but a sense of harmony. You follow without thought, floating beside her, feeling the gentle rhythm of her journey settle into your chest, steadying your heartbeat, softening your mind. Her path weaves through mountains that glimmer with fading sunlight, peaks that hold the hush of centuries. She pauses on a high ridge, gazing across valleys bathed in silver light, where mist curls softly among ancient trees. The air here is cool, scented faintly with wildflowers and stone, carrying whispers of stories long ago. The silent pilgrim breathes in deeply, letting the quiet of the landscape fill her spirit. You feel the same calm descend upon yourself, your thoughts slowing like leaves drifting on still water. Through valleys and meadows she moves, where rivers bend gently and streams reflect the sky in soft, trembling ripples. Her hands brush against tall grasses, sending them swaying in waves of motion that seem guided by an invisible hand. Each motion, each step, teaches patience, a quiet understanding that the journey itself holds the sacred. You float beside her, absorbing the slow rhythm of walking, the gentle cadence of the land, and the serenity it inspires. In the distance, the desert opens like a vast golden ocean, sand rippling under the touch of the wind. The silent pilgrim steps into the dunes with grace, each footprint a small offering to the quiet world. Sunlight gleams faintly on grains of sand, scattering light in gentle sparks that rise and settle like soft, slow fireflies. You watch, and your own mind begins to mirror this motion. Soft, shimmering, and at ease, each worry settling like dust at the edges of thought. She pauses at the crest of a dune, the wind brushing her hair and robes with delicate insistence. Her eyes close for a moment, listening to the voice of the land, the murmurs of hidden springs, the secrets of the stones beneath her feet. Every moment is sacred here, a meditation in motion. You feel the lesson settle gently into your bones. Stillness is found even in movement. Patience is woven through every step. Surrender resides in simply being. The path leads to a quiet grove where ancient trees rise like sentinels. Shafts of fading sunlight pierce the canopy, and leaves stir with soft murmurs. The silent pilgrim walks slowly among them, tracing her fingertips along rough bark, feeling the life within. Each touch is a prayer, silent and tender, a conversation without words. You sense the same communion, a quiet connection to the living world, the rhythm of breath, the steady pulse of earth beneath. A stream threads through the grove, water smooth and whispering, carrying reflections of clouds and sky. She kneels at its edge, dipping her hands into the cool flow. Tiny ripples extend outward, touching pebbles and moss, echoing through the grove with a gentle resonance. You watch the water's movement, letting it draw away tension, carrying peace to every part of your body. Each ripple is a soft reminder that calm moves outward, touching everything it meets. The pilgrim continues across meadows now, where flowers nod softly in the wind, their colors muted by the twilight. Butterflies drift lazily, tracing invisible paths that loop and curve through the air. Her steps are slow, rhythmic, an offering to the quiet world around her. Every breath she takes, every step she places, invites patience, surrender, and the acceptance of what is. You feel the same rhythm fill your chest and mind, easing tension, soothing thought, creating a gentle lull for your awareness. Night begins to fall, and stars emerge like scattered lanterns across the sky. She pauses, lifting her face to the heavens. The constellations seem to shimmer more brightly here, reflected in her calm gaze. The pilgrim's presence seems to harmonize with the universe itself, each movement in tune with celestial rhythms. You drift with her gaze, letting the vastness of night stretch softly through your mind, stretching worries into stillness, allowing a deep and gentle quiet to settle. A firefly lights the path, its glow soft and intermittent. She smiles faintly and continues on, letting the small luminescence guide her steps without hurry. The light dances over sand, grass, and stone, as though the world itself conspires to accompany her. You follow, feeling the ease of her pace, the serenity of gentle motion, and the comfort of being present in each step. Through forests, across plains, and into hidden valleys she moves, each scene touched by soft twilight, each path a meditation in gentle motion. Wind moves through her robes, water ripples in streams, leaves murmur overhead, and you absorb the peace of it all. Every step reminds you that there is no need to rush, no destination more important than the present moment. The journey itself is divine, and every moment is enough. The mountains rise again in the distance, bathed in moonlight. She climbs slowly, deliberately, and pauses at the highest ridge. From here, valleys and deserts, rivers and meadows all stretch into gentle darkness. You feel the vastness of the world and the quiet smallness of your own being, but neither brings unease. Instead, the silent pilgrim shows that surrender is strength, stillness is courage, and patience is a quiet gift. You feel this truth settle like a soft blanket over your mind and body. Finally, she rests beneath a wide, ancient tree, its branches arching protectively above. The night air is cool and gentle, carrying the scent of earth and leaves. The pilgrim closes her eyes, and for a long, slow moment there is only stillness. You float here with her, each breath slow and even, each heartbeat echoing the rhythm of the land. Thoughts settle, muscles loosen, mind softens. The world itself seems to hum in quiet resonance, acknowledging her presence, acknowledging yours. Mountains, rivers, valleys, forests, deserts, all rest in the gentle quiet of night. And you, cradled in this space, feel the same deep, unhurried peace. The journey is complete, yet eternal. Each step a lesson, each pause a meditation. Let yourself drift here now, beneath the wide sky, beside the silent pilgrim. Let the calm of her footsteps and the soft rhythm of the land carry you deeper into stillness. Let patience and surrender settle fully into your being. The journey itself is the divine, and in each slow breath, each quiet heartbeat, you are wholly embraced. Now rest as the stars return to their watch, as the wind hums softly through distant trees, as the earth holds you gently. Let sleep come, slow and certain, as the silent pilgrim continues her eternal gentle walk across mountains, valleys, and deserts. The night descends slowly, folding the world in a gentle, dark velvet. You drift softly into a quiet clearing, where the moon spills silver light across stones worn smooth by centuries. The air is warm with the scent of night-blooming flowers, and somewhere distant, the whisper of a stream hums softly. Shadows stretch long and slow, shifting with the subtle sway of the wind, and in this serene embrace the world feels paused, waiting. A figure appears beneath the wide sky, her movements fluid and slow, like water finding its path among rocks. She is the enchantress of forgotten rites, a woman whose presence seems stitched from starlight and shadow. Her feet touch the earth lightly, and each step sends a gentle pulse through the soil, a heartbeat that echoes softly in your chest. She lifts her arms, and the folds of her robes flow as though carried by invisible currents, a dance that feels older than time itself. You float closer, drawn by the rhythm of her movements, a cadence that is quiet yet insistent, a pattern that speaks to something deep inside. The enchantress twirls under the moon, and the light catches her hair and robes in a soft shimmer, scattering fragments of silver across the clearing. Each motion is a story, a ritual of connection, a bridge between the seen and unseen. You breathe in the calm she offers, letting it settle gently across your mind and body. Around her, small torches burn with steady, golden flames, their warmth mingling with the cool night air. The flames sway in harmony with her movements, flickering and leaning as if drawn to her rhythm. Shadows play across ancient stones, carved long ago with symbols whose meaning has softened with age. Yet, even in their quiet mystery, they carry a sense of sacred presence. You notice the hush of the world around you, a soft agreement that all here is held in reverence. All here is still. The enchantress pauses briefly, raising her hands to the sky. Stars seem to pulse in reply, faint and distant, their light stretching slowly across the night. She lowers her arms and begins a slow, circling motion, a gesture that calls to the hidden currents of air and earth, water and fire. Each movement is soft, deliberate, an echo of forgotten celebrations, and you feel the gentle tug of something ancient, a memory of ritual etched deep in the collective spirit. From the edge of the clearing, a faint melody drifts in. It is barely there, a soft hum carried by the wind, mingling with the murmur of trees and the ripple of the distant stream. The enchantress sways to it, letting the rhythm guide her, and you realize the melody is not separate from her. It flows through her, shaping the air and time around her. You drift with it, each note a tender pulse in your chest, slowing your thoughts, softening every edge, lulling your awareness into a gentle, weightless calm. As she dances, petals from unseen blossoms rise and drift around her, twirling in the soft air. Their motion mirrors her gestures, a slow ballet of color and fragrance, a quiet symphony for eyes and heart. The scent of jasmine and honeysuckle blends with the night air, and you inhale slowly, feeling the rhythm of breath that matches the dance. You are part of this ritual now, though silently, your spirit moving in quiet sync with her, your body eased into soft surrender. Each step she takes seems to awaken small memories of old rites, long forgotten yet still alive in the quiet corners of the earth. Her hands trace patterns through the air, circles, lines, waves, and each pattern feels like an echo of universal truth. You notice how the gestures seem to touch invisible strings, connecting everything in gentle harmony. Mountains, rivers, forests, stars, and even your own beating heart all seem to respond, bending into a rhythm of serene unity. The enchantress moves in slow arcs, her eyes half closed as if listening to something beyond the visible. The wind swirls lightly, carrying whispers of unseen voices, echoes of old songs, murmurs of the sacred. You sense the vastness of her connection, a bridge spanning worlds and times, and you feel yourself drawn closer, not with effort, but naturally, as if her quiet energy has extended a soft invitation. You follow it willingly, your own spirit floating beside hers, matching the cadence of her gentle movements. Around the clearing, shadows of trees and rocks seem to bend toward her, responding to her gestures with quiet grace. Every rustle of leaves, every ripple of air, every distant owl's call joins the soft rhythm. It is a harmony of stillness and motion, a song of patience, surrender, and presence. Your mind eases into it, thoughts dissolving like mist at dawn, tension releasing with each slow breath. You feel a sense of safety, a tender reassurance that nothing needs to be hurried, nothing needs to be understood, only felt. She begins a slower, deeper movement, her arms rising and falling like the tide. The moonlight pools across her robes, and the glow of the small torches wavers in response, as if acknowledging the sacred pulse of the ritual. You notice your own heartbeat syncing softly with hers, a shared rhythm that brings deep calm. Each motion invites stillness, each gesture a whisper of connection, each pause a reminder that the unseen can be honored simply by being present. From the edge of the clearing, small streams of silver light seem to drift downward from the stars themselves, brushing across her robes, illuminating the soft contours of her face. She closes her eyes, letting the movement become prayer, meditation, and song all at once. You feel a similar quiet arise within, a deep settling, as if layers of worry and thought are being lifted and gently carried away on a soft breeze. Her dance continues through the night, slow and measured, each step, each motion, a guide for hearts that wish to listen. You drift alongside her, your mind a gentle river, your body relaxed and weightless. The night deepens and stars wheel slowly overhead, bearing witness to the ritual. Every movement she makes seems to mirror a heartbeat of the universe itself, teaching that connection is not loud or demanding, but tender, patient, and soft. Eventually, the dance draws to a quiet close. She kneels on the earth, hands pressed to the soil, head bowed toward the night. The flames of the torches flicker in response, shadows resting against stones as though the world itself has sighed. You feel a profound stillness settle around you, a gentle silence that carries warmth and peace. Each breath you take now feels sacred, each heartbeat a quiet hymn. The enchantress rises slowly, brushing her hands against her robes, then letting them rest at her sides. She turns her gaze skyward, and the stars seem to glimmer with new clarity, reflecting the calm that now rests over the clearing. You float there with her, a silent participant in this sacred rhythm, cradled by the night and the lingering echoes of ritual. Let yourself drift now, carried by the quiet pulse of her movements, the soft glow of moon and torchlight, and the gentle murmur of wind and leaves. Let your mind wander slowly through this space of calm, letting the lessons of stillness, surrender, and gentle presence seep into every part of your being. Each gesture of the enchantress has left an imprint on the night and within you, a reminder that connection to the unseen is found not in striving, but in soft attention, patient observation, and quiet listening. Now rest, as the stars watch silently, as the breeze moves tenderly through the clearing, as the enchantress fades into the gentle shadows of night. Let your thoughts settle like petals on a still pond, your body soften like earth beneath moonlight, and your spirit float in serene surrender. The evening drifts slowly across the forest, soft and quiet, carrying the gentle sigh of trees and the distant call of night birds. You wander along a narrow path, feeling the earth beneath your feet soft and cool, and the hush of the world inviting you to slow. Somewhere ahead, a silver shimmer hints at a hidden stream, its waters catching the last traces of twilight. The air smells faintly of moss and wet stones, and each breath carries a calm that settles through your body like a warm embrace. By the hidden spring, she waits, the keeper of healing waters. Her presence is gentle, like moonlight spilling over quiet hills, and her hands brush the surface of the pool with tender care. Every ripple she makes moves with purpose, yet without hurry, as if the water itself listens to her touch. You float closer, noticing the soft glow that surrounds her, a delicate light that seems born from the waters themselves. The spring murmurs in quiet tones, and the keeper kneels beside it, tracing patterns with her fingertips. Each motion sends gentle waves across the surface, and each wave carries a soft, soothing melody, almost like a lullaby whispered by the earth. You breathe slowly, in rhythm with the water, letting the soft pulse of movement ease any tension that lingers in your shoulders, your chest, your mind. She dips her hands into the pool, letting the water spill through her fingers like liquid silk. The droplets catch the faint light of the moon, scattering it into tiny, dancing stars upon the dark surface. You watch, mesmerized by the quiet grace of her actions, noticing how even the simplest gesture becomes a ritual of calm. She hums a soft tune, the notes rising and falling with the curve of the stream, a song that seems older than any memory you can recall, yet familiar in its warmth. Around the spring, soft ferns and mosses sway as though acknowledging her presence. Every leaf bends lightly, every ripple of water sings a gentle chorus. You notice your own heart slowing, each beat settling into the rhythm of the place, each breath a slow exhale of worry and thought. The keeper lifts a small cup of water to her lips, and you imagine the gentle coolness of the liquid, soothing and clear, carrying whispers of healing through every part of her being. She begins to walk slowly along the edge of the pool, her feet barely disturbing the earth, her robe brushing softly against grass and stone. The water responds to her steps, spreading waves that move outward in gentle circles. The moon catches the tips of the ripples, casting luminous arcs that seem to fold back upon themselves. You drift with the movement, feeling as though the waves pass through you, carrying away fatigue, concern, and lingering tension. The keeper reaches a place where the spring widens into a shallow pool, the water still and glassy. She kneels again, pressing her palms into the surface. Small lights rise like fireflies from beneath, dancing slowly on the edges of the pool. Each light pulses softly, as if breathing with the rhythm of the earth itself. She tilts her head, eyes closed, listening to the quiet hum of water and life, and in that stillness, you hear it too, a resonance that hums through your bones, through the marrow of your being, a gentle reminder that all is held, all is safe. A soft wind stirs the surface, carrying a fragrance of lilies and rain, a scent that blends with the earthy aroma of the spring. The keeper raises her hands, letting droplets fall back into the pool, each one creating a tiny, fleeting circle of light. You see her scoop water into a shallow bowl, and with each scoop, she whispers words you cannot hear yet feel, blessings gentle and unbroken, that travel not through sound, but through the quiet energy of intention. The water gleams, catching moonlight and stars alike, and you sense that every ripple carries a story of care, a message of calm, a trace of love offered without demand. The keeper moves to a stone basin, where the spring flows into a narrow channel. She traces the edges with her fingers, guiding the water over small stones that smooth it, over moss that softens it, letting it pour into the channel in steady, deliberate streams. You watch, mesmerized by the fluid grace, noticing how each movement transforms ordinary water into something sacred, something quiet, something deeply restorative. Your own body seems to echo the movement, flowing into calm with each inhale and exhale. She pauses and kneels once more by the edge of the pool, cupping water and letting it trickle gently down the side of the stone. Each drop seems to sing as it falls, a soft note and a slow, continuous melody. You imagine the water sliding over your hands, over your arms, over your shoulders, each droplet carrying away the weight of the day, each note dissolving stress into light. Her humming matches the water's song, a lullaby of earth and sky, of stone and leaf, of all that is still and whole. Above, the stars reflect in the water, twinkling in time with the ripples. The keeper raises her hands to the night sky, letting droplets spill into the air, catching the starlight and scattering it in soft patterns. The world feels infinite yet intimate, vast yet tender. You breathe in the stillness, feeling it settle deep, like cool water filling a quiet pond inside you. The keeper begins a slow, circling motion around the spring, her robes brushing softly against moss and grass. The water responds to her motion, sending small waves across the pool, gentle arcs that reflect moonlight and shadow. You float alongside her in spirit, moving with the rhythm, letting the waves carry you further into calm. Each step, each gesture, each soft ripple is a hymn of patience, an echo of the quiet power of healing and care. She stops at a small alcove where the spring narrows again, letting the water spill over a small cascade of stones. The droplets catch the light and create a quiet shimmer, a delicate curtain of silver threads. She kneels beside it, pressing her palms into the pool below. Tiny lights rise once more, soft and steady, as if the water itself breathes. You feel the steady pulse in your chest, a reflection of the water's rhythm, a gentle reminder of the quiet strength in stillness and the healing that comes from gentle presence. The keeper hums a note that seems to ripple outward, touching every corner of the clearing. You notice how the melody flows without effort, each tone carrying the essence of calm, the essence of being held. Your body softens further, your mind slows, and your spirit floats lightly with the waves of her song. Every concern, every lingering thought, every tiny weight drifts away, leaving only quiet, only peace, only the gentle embrace of presence. She rises slowly, brushing her hands against her robes, letting any remaining droplets fall back into the pool. The water continues to move, gentle and constant, reflecting moonlight, torchlight, and the soft shimmer of stars above. You notice how the world itself seems to breathe with her, slow, tender, and rhythmic. You feel a quiet gratitude, a soft acknowledgement of care that is offered without need or expectation, a balm for every quiet ache of body and mind. The keeper moves to the edge of the spring one last time, letting the water slip softly through her fingers. She tilts her head toward the night, closing her eyes, listening to the song of water, earth, and sky. You float there beside her, letting the melody fill every part of your being. Tension dissolves like morning mist, leaving only clarity, only stillness, only the gentle flow of calm through your body and spirit. Let yourself drift now, carried by the slow pulse of the water, the soft glow of moon and stars, the quiet song of earth and stream. Let your thoughts rest like leaves floating on a still pool. Let your body relax fully, weight dissolving into the earth, spirit merging with the gentle rhythm of the night. Each ripple, each note, each breath is a reminder that healing is a quiet act, a tender presence, a slow, loving motion. Now rest, as the spring murmurs softly, as the stars watch silently. As the keeper of healing waters fades into the gentle shadows of night, let every tension dissolve, every thought soften, every heartbeat settle into the tender rhythm of calm. The sun dips low beneath the horizon, scattering soft strands of gold through the forest canopy. You walk slowly beneath the ancient trees, feeling the gentle press of their trunks and the softness of moss beneath your feet. Every step is quiet, measured, in tune with the world's natural rhythm. The air carries the scent of warm earth and fallen leaves, a gentle perfume that invites calm. Somewhere ahead, a faint glow hints at a grove bathed in soft, golden light. At the heart of the grove, she waits, the lady of the golden grove. Her presence is luminous yet tender, like sunlight spilling through dew-laden leaves. She moves with deliberate grace, each step awakening a subtle hum in the soil. Flowers lift their heads, petals stretching toward her, and fruits glimmer faintly on low-hanging branches. The grove itself seems to breathe with her, a quiet pulse of life that flows with patience and care. She bends to touch a cluster of golden lilies, her fingers barely brushing the petals. As she moves, the flowers stretch toward the light, opening slowly, deliberately, in response to her gentle energy. You breathe in the warmth of the grove, letting each exhale release the weight of your thoughts. Every rustle of leaf and soft whisper of wind becomes a lullaby, drawing you deeper into stillness. Along the edges of the grove, soft ferns unfurl as if stirred by her presence. Tiny streams of sunlight filter through the branches, catching on drops of dew and creating miniature prisms of gold and green. You notice your own body soften, shoulders dropping, jaw unclenching, mind slowing. The grove's quiet harmony begins to flow through you like a gentle current, each step, each breath, syncing with the subtle rhythm of growth around you. She kneels by a small sapling, cupping the tender shoots in her hands. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, a warm glow spreads from her palms into the roots, the trunk, the leaves. The sapling shivers with life, stretching toward the light, its growth measured and steady. You feel a similar warmth within yourself, a subtle, reassuring sense that all that is needed is present. All that will grow in its own time. Around her, the grove responds. Birds settle in the branches, their songs soft and melodic, a gentle chorus of welcome. Insects move quietly among the flowers, their tiny wings catching light and scattering it in fleeting patterns. The lady of the golden grove stands, walking slowly along a path lined with wildflowers, her hands brushing softly against petals and leaves. Wherever she touches, life bends gently toward the sun, awakening with soft persistence, without rush or urgency. She pauses at a cluster of low-hanging fruits, cupping a round, golden apple in her hands. A faint shimmer travels across its surface, as if the sun itself had been caught inside. She lifts it slightly, letting a drop of dew fall back to the earth. You notice how her actions are deliberate yet tender, each motion an expression of care. Her presence alone nurtures the grove, and in turn, the grove nurtures her, a quiet circle of giving and receiving that stretches beyond measure. A soft wind passes through the trees, carrying the scent of honeyed blossoms and rich soil. The lady turns her face toward it, eyes closed, breathing slowly. You imagine the gentle coolness of the breeze on your own skin, the way it brushes away the smallest discomforts, the faint tension in muscles and mind. She spreads her arms slightly, and the grove responds. Flowers lean toward her, grasses ripple, and even the moss seems to rise in acknowledgement. The forest is alive with quiet energy, yet every movement is soft, measured, soothing. She moves to a shaded corner where tiny buds cling to thin branches, still closed, still waiting. With gentle fingers, she strokes each one, and a soft warmth flows through the tips, coaxing them open just slightly. The process is slow, deliberate, a meditation of growth and patience. You feel your own thoughts opening in a similar way, stretching gently toward calm. Each inhale brings clarity. Each exhale lets go of unnecessary weight. By a small, sun-dappled pond, she kneels again. Her hands dip into the water, sending gentle ripples outward. Each ripple touches nearby roots and stones, stirring life in subtle, invisible ways. You watch, mesmerized, feeling the same calm spread through your body, as if the water itself moves through your veins, easing every tightness, smoothing every worry. The lady hums softly, a tune that blends with the wind, the water, and the rustle of leaves, a melody that seems older than time yet immediately familiar. She rises, letting her hands brush lightly against her robe, sending a faint shower of golden pollen drifting into the air. The grove responds, petals tilt, fruits glow slightly brighter, and the pond shimmers as though the water itself acknowledges her touch. You drift with the rhythm of her movements, every gesture a gentle reminder that growth comes with patience, that care need not be rushed, that even the smallest touch can awaken life. She bends to pick a fallen leaf, cradling it in her hands. The leaf glows faintly, as if infused with her gentle presence. She places it back on the ground, and it seems to settle more fully, grounded yet alive. You feel the same in yourself. A settling, a grounding, a softening that allows space for stillness and presence. The lady's actions are meditative, each motion a slow, deliberate breath, guiding everything around her and within you toward calm. Near the heart of the grove, a small circle of lilies sways gently, stirred by her passing. Their fragrance mingles with the scent of ripening fruits and warm earth, a perfume that is both soothing and nourishing. You notice how the grove itself seems alive, each element responding to her care without haste, without demand. You feel invited to release all tension, to float gently with the rhythm of life, to trust in the quiet persistence of growth. She kneels again by the pond, letting her fingers trail through the water. Tiny sparks of light rise from beneath the surface, drifting upward like stars fallen into the grove. Each spark illuminates a small ripple, a small circle, a quiet testament to the gentle power of attention and care. You breathe in time with these movements, each inhale a filling of calm, each exhale a letting go of worry. The grove hums softly around you, a lullaby of leaves, flowers, water, and light. The Lady of the Golden Grove rises once more, her robes brushing softly against the mossy floor. She lifts her arms toward the canopy above, where golden light filters through the leaves. You sense the rhythm of the forest in her stance, a heartbeat of life measured and persistent, gentle yet unwavering. Her presence reminds you that growth, healing, and nurture are quiet forces, subtle yet powerful, steady and patient. As night begins to fall, the grove glows softly under the first hints of moonlight. Flowers close their petals, leaves fold gently, and the pond mirrors the sky above. The lady walks slowly along a path lined with ancient roots, her touch leaving traces of calm wherever she moves. You drift alongside her in spirit, carried by the quiet pulse of the grove, your mind slowing, your body relaxing, your heart settling into the gentle rhythm of life and care. Finally, she pauses at the center of the grove where a single golden tree rises higher than the rest. Its branches stretch toward the sky, leaves glinting softly in the moonlight. She places her hands upon its trunk, closing her eyes. The grove around her hums in response, a deep, steady note of presence and patience. You feel your own body echo the same calm, a quiet strength rooted in the steady persistence of life. Let yourself rest here now, in the glow of golden leaves, in the gentle rhythm of petals and water and earth. Let your thoughts settle like soft moss underfoot. Let your body soften like the petals of a flower touched by sunlight. Let your heart drift in the slow, steady pulse of the lady's care, her presence, her quiet attention to the gentle miracles of growth. Now rest, as the golden grove breathes around you, as the leaves sway softly in the night, as the lady of the golden grove fades into moonlit shadows. Let every part of you, mind, body, spirit, drift into the stillness, carried by the quiet persistence of life and the gentle power of nurture. Night falls softly over the hills, draping the world in deep indigo and silver. You walk through a quiet valley, the air cool and fragrant with evening blooms. Each breath carries calm. Each step releases a quiet sigh of the day. In the distance, a faint shimmer glows among the trees, soft and inviting, like a lantern carried by unseen hands. You drift toward it, senses opening to the hush of night, the gentle rhythm of stars blinking softly above. At the heart of this hidden veil, she waits, the weaver of silent dreams. Her presence is subtle, a glow not of fire, but of something gentler, a tender light that touches the edges of thought without disturbing them. Her hands hover over invisible threads, fingers moving in a slow, deliberate dance. Around her, the air seems to ripple, carrying the quiet hum of creation, the soft pulse of life as it drifts into sleep. She lifts a slender hand, and a silver thread appears, stretching from one quiet point of the night to another. The thread quivers, alive with possibility, a path for imagination to follow. You watch as she moves, weaving threads into a tapestry that shimmers like moonlight on water. Each motion is measured, soft, like the brush of feathers against skin. The air itself seems to breathe with her, expanding and contracting in rhythm with the quiet work of dreams. Around her, the valley responds. Leaves tremble gently, stirred by an unseen breeze. Flowers lean toward her as if sensing the intention behind her hands. The weaver hums softly, a melody without words, carrying through the night like a lullaby. Each note, each vibration seems to settle in your chest, releasing tension, easing thought, and inviting a gentle surrender. Her threads stretch outward, connecting stars in the sky with ripples in a still pond below. Each thread carries a vision, a memory, a whisper of hope or comfort. She lifts another hand and a thread bends, weaving itself into a spiral of silver light. You feel yourself following it in thought, drifting gently along its path. It winds around quiet hills, under sleeping trees, across valleys where the shadows stretch long and soft. The tapestry she creates is not rigid or demanding. It is a gentle invitation to journey, a map for the spirit to wander in safety and wonder. She pauses by a pool of moonlit water. Fingers brush the surface, sending concentric ripples outward. Threads of dreams like soft silk settle upon the water, reflecting stars in the gentle sweep of night. You notice how small movements create subtle changes. The way a ripple can move a thread, the way a breath of air can shift a vision. Everything in her realm responds with patience, a quiet interplay of cause and effect, soft and measured. The weaver bends slightly, her fingers tracing a path across invisible strands. A delicate figure emerges in the threads. A bird, wings outstretched, drifting slowly through a night sky of silver and lavender. Its feathers catch faint light, glimmering as it glides, a messenger of calm and serenity. You imagine yourself floating alongside it, weightless, embraced by the gentle rhythm of its wings. Each flutter carries you farther from the worries of waking life, closer to the sanctuary of dreams. She moves along a quiet path lined with whispering grass, her hands weaving as she goes. Small threads of gold and violet wind through the green, connecting moments of memory with the infinite possibilities of imagination. Each thread hums softly, vibrating with the essence of a story yet to unfold. You feel yourself tuning into this resonance, your mind slowing, your breath lengthening. your body surrendering to the gentle cadence of night. In a shaded corner, a cluster of sleeping flowers stirs as she passes. Her hands hover above them, brushing lightly against petals and stems. Threads of luminous light slip from her fingertips into the blossoms, and they open slightly, revealing soft colors and hidden patterns. You realize the same process is at work within you. Tiny shifts in thought and perception, subtle awakenings of creativity and imagination, guided by the tender, watchful presence of the weaver. The night deepens. Stars drift across the sky in slow arcs, mirrored in pools and quiet streams. She lifts a hand, and a thread stretches to the far horizon, connecting distant mountains, whispering forests, and sleeping villages. Through this single silver strand, 1,000 quiet visions unfold. The soft laughter of children, the gentle sway of trees, the rhythmic pulse of the ocean waves. Every image is delicate, fleeting, yet whole, each one a quiet echo of life's unseen harmony. A soft wind stirs through the grove, carrying the scent of night-blooming jasmine. The weaver tilts her head toward it, listening, sensing the unseen currents of the world. Her fingers move in slow, deliberate patterns, tying threads together, untangling knots, allowing images to drift freely where they are needed most. You feel yourself guided along these paths, carried gently through visions of comfort, rest, and peace. Each scene calms, each thread soothes, and the night stretches long and slow around you. A faint silver bird takes flight from the tapestry, circling the weaver and disappearing into the velvety darkness. Its song is quiet, almost imperceptible, yet it settles in your heart with warmth. You notice your own body softening further, the way your shoulders sink, the way your chest opens, the way your mind becomes a still pool, reflecting only calm and light. The weaver continues her silent work, a steady presence that allows the world and all who wander in dreams to be held with care. By a gentle brook, she pauses, dipping her fingers into the water. Threads follow her motion, twisting and spiraling over the surface, reflecting the moon above. Images form on the water, glimpses of forests, of quiet rooms, of fields bathed in dawn's first light. Each vision is simple, soft, unhurried, carrying with it a sense of serenity. You feel these images brushing against your consciousness, encouraging a gentle drift into your own inner tapestry, where dreams are stitched quietly and tenderly. She kneels beside a small cluster of ferns, her fingers threading golden strands through their fronds. Each fern bends toward her touch, releasing a faint fragrance of earth and rain. You inhale deeply, sensing the same gentle unfolding within yourself. The soft rise of thoughts and images, untangled, unhurried, inviting a slow, mindful drift. The weaver's presence assures that nothing needs to be forced. Everything grows in its own time, and everything rests in its own quiet space. The night moves on deeper and more still. The weaver's threads extend further, connecting the whisper of leaves, the ripple of water, and the flicker of distant lanterns. You notice your own mind aligning with this rhythm, every worry dissolving like mist, every thought gently placed into the tapestry of silent dreams. You float in this quiet space, a soft observer of your own unfolding, embraced by the tender energy of the night and the weaver's gentle guidance. A faint glow rises from her hands, spreading across the threads, turning silver into soft gold. It illuminates tiny visions of joy, remembrance, and peace. Flowers shimmer faintly in the glow, leaves bend slightly, and the water mirrors every subtle motion. You feel the glow spreading within you as well, a warm, steady, calming light that travels slowly through the body and mind. It anchors you, holds you, and allows the heart to rest. She lifts her arms to the sky, letting the threads of dreams rise and spiral into the starlit heavens. You follow each spiral with your thoughts, drifting, floating, untethered. The air hums with a quiet resonance, a lullaby of weaving and unfolding, soft and endless. Your own breath syncs with the gentle pull of the threads, in and out, slow and deliberate, steady and soothing. The weaver moves along a path lined with sleeping flowers, her hands brushing lightly against petals, each touch leaving a trace of calm. You sense the subtle power of this care, not loud or demanding, but patient and persistent. Life, even in dreams, unfolds in quiet moments of attention and gentleness. You feel embraced by this understanding, carried softly toward deep, peaceful rest. Finally, she pauses beneath a moonlit arch of trees, threads radiating outward like a crown of silver light. Her hands hover, fingers moving with the slow rhythm of the night, weaving last threads into the fabric of silent dreams. The grove around her hums with completion, a quiet sigh of satisfaction and calm. You feel the same completion within yourself, a gentle settling of mind, body, and spirit, each thread of thought finding its place in the tapestry of your night. Let yourself drift now, carried by the threads of dreams she has woven. Let your thoughts settle like silver light on still water. Let your body soften into the quiet earth, and let your heart rest in the gentle rhythm of unfolding visions. Every image, every thread, every soft movement is a lullaby, guiding you deeper into calm, into imagination, into the sacred space of sleep. Now rest. As the weaver of silent dreams moves through the night, her presence a quiet, luminous embrace. Let her threads carry you through visions, gentle and free. Let her rhythm teach patience, her touch teach surrender, and her light teach the sacredness of rest. Drift onward softly with each breath into the tapestry of night and the gentle comfort of silent dreams. Night has settled over the world like a soft cloak, cool and quiet, stretching its gentle darkness across hills and valleys. You float through the hush of evening, senses attuned to the tender rhythm of the night. The air carries a faint warmth, a quiet pulse, as if the earth itself exhales slowly and softly. In the distance, a glow begins to appear, subtle yet unwavering, a gentle light that does not burn but comforts, a presence that calls without haste. You approach a high ridge where the stars lean closer to the earth, their reflection flickering on a still lake below. Standing at the crest, bathed in the tender glow of moon and stars, is the eternal light-bearer. Her form is radiant yet soft, luminous without glare, her presence like dawn brushing softly against the edge of night. She holds a lamp, not heavy, but light in her hands, a vessel that carries gentle warmth and the quiet wisdom of ages. Around her, the air shimmers with a subtle luminescence, threads of silver and gold weaving through the dark. Each thread is a story, a memory, a hope whispered through time. She lifts her lamp slowly, and the glow spreads, not overwhelming, but like a gentle tide moving over the land. You notice how even the smallest leaf, the tiniest ripple on the lake, responds to her light with a quiet bend or shimmer. It is a light that encourages, that nurtures, that allows rest to come without effort. She begins to walk along the ridge, each step measured, a soft rhythm in harmony with the earth beneath her feet. The light she carries stretches with her, reaching into shadows, yet never forcing them away. Darkness and light coexist here, balanced and serene. You feel your own breath slow, matching the cadence of her steps, matching the gentle sway of the world she illuminates. Her eyes, calm and knowing, sweep over the land. With a subtle gesture, she touches the lamp to the earth, and tiny lights rise from soil and stone, glowing softly like embers that never burn. Streams, rivers, and pools reflect her gentle radiance, turning ordinary water into mirrors of quiet beauty. Each reflection is a meditation, a reminder that light exists even where it seems hidden, that warmth is always present, waiting to be noticed. The eternal light-bearer pauses beside a grove of ancient trees, their trunks silvered by moonlight. Her fingers brush against the bark, and the trees hum softly in response, a low, comforting vibration. Leaves quiver gently, releasing a faint fragrance of earth and blossom. You feel the same resonance inside yourself, a calm awareness of your own heart, of your own steady inner light. Each inhale brings serenity. Each exhale releases lingering tension. She lifts her lamp higher, and the glow spills upward, meeting the stars. The sky seems to shimmer more brightly, as if each star is a note in a gentle lullaby composed just for this night. Threads of light stretch from her lamp into the heavens, connecting the earth to sky, the seen to the unseen. You notice the soft connection, the delicate bridge between waking and dreaming, and feel yourself floating upon it, weightless, guided by the soft pulse of her radiance. Along the ridge, small animals stir, drawn by the gentle illumination. A fox lifts its head, ears twitching, and meets the gaze of the light-bearer. In the stillness, no fear or alarm exists, only recognition and quiet trust. Birds, settling for the night, lean toward the glow, their feathers touched with silver, their soft calls blending into the low hum of serenity. You sense the same trust in yourself, a permission to rest, a permission to let go, a permission to drift softly into dreams. The eternal light-bearer moves toward a quiet meadow, each step leaving a trace of luminous energy in the grass. Petals unfold gently beneath her touch, revealing colors that are muted, tender, and calming. Each flower seems to whisper its own blessing, its own small offering of peace. You notice how the light does not force, does not command, but invites. A gentle hand extended into the quiet of the night. She kneels beside a still pool, its surface reflecting the moon and the subtle brilliance of her lamp. Fingers skim across the water, and threads of light ripple outward, carrying visions of peace and comfort. You watch as the reflections ripple and shift. A gentle rain, a calm sea, a quiet forest glade. Each image moves slowly, unhurried, softening your thoughts, quieting the mind, and inviting a profound sense of ease. A soft wind brushes past, carrying whispers of distant places, the hush of forests, the gentle sweep of ocean waves, the faint echo of mountains touched by dawn. The light-bearer lifts her lamp in acknowledgement, allowing the wind to play with the threads of illumination. Each movement is measured, careful, a dance of quiet connection between the world and the spirit. You feel yourself carried along by this gentle motion, a leaf in the tide of serenity, embraced by the slow unfolding of night. She rises, walking toward the lake's edge. The water reflects her light in delicate waves, each ripple a subtle reminder of the harmony between movement and stillness. You notice your own body echoing this rhythm, each breath a wave, each heartbeat a gentle motion, each thought a soft ripple settling into quietude. Here, in this luminous presence, there is no need for effort, only a gentle yielding to the embrace of night and the subtle guidance of the light-bearer. Across the meadow, shadows deepen without fear, for the lamp's glow does not diminish them. It softens them, wraps them in warmth. You sense that darkness, too, is held, respected, and integrated into the whole. There is balance here, a quiet harmony that reassures, a gentle truth that all is held within the divine sweep of care. Your mind follows this rhythm, slow and steady, thoughts softening, muscles relaxing, and the heart opening to a space of gentle stillness. She walks to a low hill, and from its crest, the entire valley spreads beneath her, silvered by moonlight and tender glow. The lamp she carries radiates outward, touching every tree, every stone, every quiet stream. It is a light without urgency, a light that travels with patience, a light that invites presence rather than action. You feel the same invitation within, an easing, a gentle sigh of release, a permission to rest fully, to float effortlessly into the night. Around her, the air shimmers with subtle threads of gold and silver. Each thread carries a vision, a memory, a soft murmur of wisdom. Some threads touch your mind gently, brushing away worries and distractions, leaving clarity and calm. Each image is simple, intimate, and serene. A quiet garden, a gentle rain, a small bird settling into the safety of its nest. You notice yourself sinking into these visions, absorbed into their gentle pulse, carried along by the soft rhythm of the eternal light-bearer.